Jeff, congrats on the film. I loved watching it. I wanted to ask first, what was the process like when it comes to adaptations, especially when it comes to something where it's mostly where you're looking at pictures and you're inspired by those?
I mean, this was really tricky, because it's like you had all of the details. You even had some of the greatest lines written for you in this book from Danny Lyne between the photographs and the interviews that he recorded. But you don't have a story. You don't have a structure. You know the broader arc. You know that over the course of the 60s, you want this club to go from a social club into a proper biker gang. You've got that shape. But movies are told in moments. Movies are told in real time. So what are we going to focus on? And that's when I created the idea of this love triangle between these three main characters. And that's when the thing started to kind of take shape. You had all of these amazing moments. I just needed to find a structure that I could hang them all on.
I come from a small town, and when I was watching this, every vibe that I saw had small town from where I'm from. Talk about what you were thinking with the cinematography and the environment and what you wanted to show people.
I mean, it's interesting. We didn't shoot this film any differently than our others. We shoot on film, which we've been quite fortunate to be able to do. We use Panavision cameras, G-series lenses, Kodak film stock. What was interesting about this was the team that I worked with, which I work with, the same department heads over and over again. They've gotten to the level to where they're so good that the work that they put in front of that lens, it combined to add the density of a Danny Lyne photograph, to be quite honest, which is a really hard thing to try to, imitate. But between the hair and the makeup and the clothes and the set dressing and the production design and then the cinematography, it almost feels like a magic trick. You show up, you put all those things together, and you've recreated the 1960s. If you turn to the right or the left, you see a McDonald's. But right there, right in front of that frame, it's the 60s.
I think it was such a great and smart move to work with Jodie Comer to be the narrator through this. What was that process like? Did you already have that in mind when you were storyboarding, or was it something that happened later on?
No, one of the most fascinating people that Danny Lyne interviewed in 1965 was this woman named Kathy. And so as I'm thinking about how to tell this story, it felt really natural to give the main voice to her. She was insightful and introspective and self-deprecating, really funny, really entertaining. And she also was able to call out these guys for what they were. She had insider status because she was married into the club, but she was an outsider because she was a woman. And it felt like a way to balance a film that is incredibly masculine.
Do you make films just to put Michael Shannon in them?
Yes.
Okay.
It's very difficult. People send me books to read and magazine articles. And the first time I ever read something, I always imagine Michael Shannon in the part. So if it's ever going to change, it's quite difficult for me. I'm lucky that he still returns my calls.
He's definitely a lucky charm in this. And it was just a great film. Thank you again.
Thank you.